And I cry, oh God, send unto my prayer. For the end of good life I am to thee. When my heart's overwhelmed.
What's up, everybody? I have an apology for you. Apparently, there possibly might be an F-bomb on one of my most recent videos, but it wasn't my fault. It wasn't my fault. I went to the protest, the 99 protest in Houston, and for some reason it was a silent protest. They had tapes on their mouth, they weren't talking. And, I understand protest is cool, but we have freedom of speech, yo. You made a boring video. So what happened was I wanted to put a soundtrack, a rockin', driving soundtrack, and I thought, well, I'm in a hurry. Let's just use the YouTube footage or the YouTube audio royalty-free stuff. And I did, and I'm like, oh, that's headbanging. Yeah, let's do a headbanging soundtrack. So I put it up there, and I didn't even hear the F-bomb. It took a few of you to point it out to me, and you threw back in my face. I love you, though. It's nice. Truth and love, truth and love. You threw back in my face, and I said something about Christians should not listen to secular music, which, whatever. Do any of us live all the way up to our theology? That's, we shall know the truth, and it shall make us free. Once we know it, then we eventually start walking in the theology that we once know. So anyway, I apologize. But, however, it might not be a real F-bomb. So I'm not going to go back and listen, but anyway. Now, the reason I'm making this video, I did a podcast with an Ex Wiccan, an ex-witch. She's really cool. She's saved now. She's sold out to Jesus Christ in a big way. It's Emmy Vu on Twitter, EMMYVOO on Twitter, and extendingeagerhands.blogspot.com. That's her blog. Now, we talk about a cool subject, but the enemy did not want me to do this podcast. I got to tell you, I was trying to take a power nap so I could do the rest of my day. Like laying down, taking a nap, trying to, tossing and turning, because the Spirit of God's like, you've got to interview Emmy about Halloween. You've got to get her testimony. So I couldn't take a nap. God just kept bugging me. So I'm like, I'm going to be obedient, or somebody else is going to interview her. So I got up, I tweeted her a DM, and she graciously accepted to do the interview. But right after that, all sorts of bad stuff started happening to me. I later realized, oh, this is spiritual warfare. And I hadn't been in spiritual warfare for a while. Right after that, man, I got in a confrontation with a person that cost me several $100s. And I don't want to go into it, but that was bad. Then PayPal gave me a problem with some stuff. And PayPal's, that's where I get my contributions. Oh, yeah, my PayPal button's on the right of my blog, guys. Just so you know, commercial, brought to you by God. Then I had a problem with my insurance company. I'm like, oh my God. And one really weird thing, at between 12 midnight and 3 in the morning, for several nights, my fire alarm would go off. It wouldn't just go beep, like it's on low battery. Dude, changing the battery doesn't work on the devil, yo. So anyway, it would go off like there was a fire in the house. And I'm like checking it. The battery was fine and everything. I'm like, oh yeah, spiritual warfare. So I had a friend of mine. We prayed and we cast it out. The thing's gone. And the day of the interview, which was Friday of last week, I was getting my notes together and all that stuff. And I was just talking a little bit, testing my voice. My voice was I was going out like that. My voice was going out. And I'm like, oh my gosh. This is warfare, yo. So I went in to grab my guitar. I was going to do some worship songs, and my pick moved 3 times before I could pick it up. And I'm like, oh, this is crazy, yo. So if you listen to the podcast, I was able to speak, but you can tell my voice was a little bit hoarse. Anyway, the enemy did not want people to hear this podcast. Go check it out. It's my most recent post right now. It's over on conradrocks.net. You will enjoy it. Tell your friends. Till we meet again, dig deeper, go higher.
That is higher than I, so much higher than I. For thou hast been sheltered.